afternoon to you, and certainly a warm welcome. Happy Monday, start of a brand new week. And I really hope you're approaching it with a different mindset. You know how we start Mondays, right? Oh, by the way, speaking of that reggae fuel song, if you don't know, I'm seeing Dr. Manda on the other side of the line, and so he was busy dancing there, and I'm like, hey, boy, is this his type of feel, his type of music? Because we don't always associate. Okay, let me not finish this sentence. I'm sure he gets it. So, Dr. Manda is on the other side of the line. Dr. Manda, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Luco, and good afternoon to our listeners. Thank you so
But,
much.
but you actually do get who we associate reggae music with, right?
I do that. I absolutely do. But it's such a beautiful song.
It
I was dancing
is.
along so beautifully.
Welcome in. It's Monday, and I think there's no better way to start it than just reminding us how much of leaders we actually are, whether we believe it or not. But we're leaders, right?
Absolutely. Leadership is all about influence. And if you influence someone, whether it's a child at home, a cousin, in one way or the other, you are a leader. It's not
Yep.
about positions, it's not about any of the titles. It's about, do you get to influence someone to do something? And
Mm,
I want to believe that we all, in one way or the other, influence at least one person.
I love to hear that. Now, Dr. Manda, I finally took that test. Sure, I was frustrating you there for a moment. It gave me challenges, and because I'm such a procrastinator, I would think to myself, I'm going to text Dr. Man and just tell him what challenges I'm experiencing, and then I forget.
Yes. No,
But it
so
kind of
thank you
showed you a
for.
trait about me.
No, there's just so much on the go as we chat offline that there is a lot on the go. So we fully appreciate that. So unfortunately, we won't unpack the report live here for the first time to you. I think
Okay.
we do need to sort of have a conversation, and then you kind of ask the questions offline, and then we can talk about it. If
So
you still are comfortable to share with
so
all of your friends
when you will be
for the
doing
world.
that, because I also want to hold you accountable, because you didn't hold me accountable, but I want to be like Dr. Manda, when exactly?
So no, my people will reach out as the diaries allow. Let's schedule a time to sort of unpack the report before next week's session. Will that
Hmm.
work? Yeah,
Okay,
let's do that. Let's do
that
that.
will work.
Otherwise you'll get surprised and you'll be like, "Yeah, that's me," and you just let's first align offline before you share with a million friends out there.
All right. And so this afternoon, I believe we're talking balance, reflection, and humility.
Yes, we continue in the conversation that we started, and we started off with this idea of values based leadership and
Hmm.
sort of saying that perhaps we may have been leading in a certain way. Could we be a little bit more intentional in how we lead and we show up as leaders? And we
Mm.
adopted a framework by Professor Harry Kramer, who sort of came up with this idea of values based leadership. And there's four elements to the framework: it's self-reflection, it's balance, it's true confidence, and it's genuine humility. And all
Hmm.
of these, they're like sort of simple words, but there's so much underneath each of them.
Hmm.
As you will have noted, the last 4 weeks we just spoke about self-reflection,
Yep.
because that's how deep each of these things are. We reflected on some of the questions about who we are, what our values are, and what shapes our decisions. We explored the importance of leveraging our strengths, which is where your report comes in. Instead of fixating too much on your weakness,
Hmm.
truly, according to research, people and high performing leaders tend to do well by leaning more into their natural talents, and they build
Mm.
from there. Your natural pattern of thinking, feeling, and behaving. That's sort of what we said. Then I think the last two sessions, one we spoke about, hey, just the importance of not just making it about us, but about the community that we serve. And we introduced a
Mm.
concept through design thinking about truly leading with empathy, with empathy, and truly seeing and saving others, and not just from hey, this is what I do, but largely waiting, listening, studying, immersing ourselves in the shoes of those that we serve and truly serve from that place of empathy. And last week we spoke about commitments and fears, and how it's not just all theoretical. We do need to make some commitments
Yep.
to move forward, to hold us when that excitement has faded, and that commitment moves us forward. It's also important to think about some of the fears that might sort of pull us back. So that's sort of where we
Mm.
are if we were to summarize. And that was just one principle out of the four.
Oh
Uh,
wow! But who would have
for
thought it would
Professor
even
Eric.
take weeks?
Sorry?
So who would have thought it would even take weeks actually to get through the first one?
Exactly. That's why I said these words are they're so simple, and yet there's just so much to be unpacked underneath each and
Mm.
every one of them. Yeah.
All right. So, Dr. Manda, now that we've set the stage to move into the final three principles of the value based leadership framework, balance, true self confidence, and genuine humility. These sound like such personal and even character driven traits. So, before we get into each of them in detail, could you give us an overview of what they mean and why they're so essential to living out our purpose?
Lovely question. So I'll start with balance. And the as Professor Harry Kramer kind of puts it, balance is this ability to consider multiple perspectives before making decisions. And not just from a place of fairness, but it's about the maturity of saying, "Hey, here's where I would love for us to go as a team. But before we go, I would like to sort of get the views of everyone." So balanced leaders, they tend to have this ability to listen well, to avoid knee-jerk reactions to anything, and they create space for people around them to contribute. And in the end, the outcome, the decisions, the projects that we embarked on, they emerge from balanced views of the rest of the team. So that's sort of balance. The second one is true, and we today we're going to spend quite a bit of time unpacking some of these things and what pulls us back from doing that. The second idea is this idea of true self-confidence, and there's the importance of the word true before the self-confidence. And this
Okay.
is not just arrogance and kind of say, hey, I'm the confident one here, but it's the quiet assurance that come from knowing who we are. And that's why we
Mm.
spend quite a bit of time up front talking about who we are, our strengths, some of our limitations. And this is occurring well when you hear from leaders words like I don't know, right?
Mhm.
Words like I was wrong, words that sort of say, I'm not sure what to do here. And what this means and almost reflects is that, this is someone sometimes who not only knows what they know and where they can make a call, but they know when they don't know, and they know when they made a mistake. And confident people, they find it easy to apologize. But leaders who
Mm.
are just kind of what is the word, kind of justify, and even though everybody knows what's going on here, that's when you know that the confidence being projected might not quite be true. It might
Yep.
be like, yeah. Okay, the third one is genuine humility. And this is not false modesty, but just the understanding of who you are, and sort of not seeing yourself more highly than you ought to. I think the concept of humility is very well known, but we will unpack it in detail. So that's balance, true confidence, and genuine humility.
All right. I think let's start with balance, Dr. Manda. We live in a world of competing priorities and constant demands. Saying balanced can feel almost impossible, especially for leaders. So what does balance really look like in the context of values-based leadership, and how do we actually cultivate it?
Ah, good one. So we're gonna play here, and we're gonna have some good time, local as we normally do. But just first to acknowledge, it's very easy in the high-paced, super speedy world we find ourselves. There's just so much. There's so much demands. We need to make a decision. It's a lot easier to just kind of make a call and go all by yourself. Ignore
Hmm.
what everyone has to contribute. Now, how this looks like. It starts with the mindset. And this is where we're going to start. So, Liz Wiseman wrote an incredible book a few years ago called Multipliers. And in the book, she differentiates between two types of leaders: those that she calls diminishers and those that she calls multipliers. So, diminishers, the word kind of speaks for itself. They kind of diminish your talent. And if you can offer 100%, you end up offering way less at work. And
Mm.
multipliers, they tend to take your talent, your gifts, and then you just find yourself giving more. Now, live question. Have you ever worked for a diminisher, local?
Have I ever worked for a diminisher?
Yeah. Don't mention them if you have.
Okay, give me a diminisher again.
So a
Maybe
diminisher is someone that you work under, but you're giving what you do, but you're not like giving your ultimate best. You are not, there's some stuff that your immediate manager does that make you just give sometimes bare minimum. Or
yeah,
maybe there
yeah,
was a diminishing moment. Maybe that person is not entirely a diminisher.
a diminisher. Yeah, I have worked for one.
Right.
That sounds
So
right. Let me
question.
think.
And when they were managing and leading you, whichever word will be appropriate, those diminishing tendencies, how did they make you feel? Um, what did they do and what did they make you feel?
I think it kind of made the whole environment feel a little bit toxic, where you're like, ish, I'm not too sure about this environment.
Okay. You are unsure. And what are some of the things they did? Do you remember?
Okay,
They may
I
have
can't think of one.
micromanaged you hard. They may have withheld information. They may have sort of, decided everything by themselves and done all of that stuff, and you kind of left feeling
And
right.
you know that feeling of somebody making you feel like you can do it, but even when you've done it,
Yes.
it's not a matter of I just want to check to make sure it's a I'm still going to try and correct it when I know there's nothing to correct. That type of thing, Wabuti. I remember
Yes.
one particular one who said to me, no, derive your own strategies and formulas for this.
Sure.
I'd really love to hear. And as
Yeah.
much as I was not the cleverest with maths, but I had
Yeah.
my numbers with this particular thing, and so I found a system that worked for me. And
Yes.
one day, she asks to check, and I'm
Yeah.
like, sure, go ahead. And she says, how did you get
Yes.
these numbers? And I prove how I got the numbers. She
Yeah.
said, no, I'd rather have it done this way. So I said to me,
Sure.
but how did you get your numbers?
yes.
Exactly. Out of this formula of yours, how did you get because these numbers are
Yes.
not real? And then she said,
Yes. Yes.
no, I kind of just estimate. I said, no, but I'm giving you a strategy that gives you a certain number. You can't estimate because this is dangerous.
Mm, mm,
And
mm.
yeah, I think I became a bit of an enemy through that.
I see, I see. So to kind of bring this towards its conclusion. So, oh yeah, okay. Let's talk about the other side before we go. Have you ever worked for someone that you absolutely just thrived, where you're at work and you do things way more than you ever thought you could do. You look back in a year, you go, "Wow, was that me who was
Mhm.
able to achieve all of that stuff?"
Ish.
Hey, you need better leaders, Luko.
A lot of things. Exactly, exactly. Listen, I'll
So
give it a thought. I'll give it a thought. Please hold on just a
yes,
little bit for me. Let's just grab a glass of water because I'll give it a thought for you. Then I'll try and
let's do
answer.
this.
This traffic update is brought to you by the Ear Institute, where excellent hearing
Here's Waymaker Khutato Sibopela with Prince of Peace. Takes us to 29 minutes to 5. And yeah, technology is technology, so apologies for that glitch there. I hope you are sounding much better, Dr. Manda, because apparently
Let's try. Let's
here you
try.
are. Here you
Does
are.
it sound better?
Yep, you sound better. All right.
Okay,
So
excellent.
ask that question again. Let me try and see if I can answer it.
Yes, I was wondering if you've ever worked with someone, a leader, a manager, who just absolutely, for some reason, got the best out of you. Maybe you currently do. And you look back in the last 3, 4, 5 months, you go, wow, was that me? I've done things I never thought I could.
Yep.
I've just, yeah, I wonder if you have.
I've managed to achieve much more than I thought I was capable of.
Yes, yes, yes.
I have. That I
Yes.
can confidently say. That I can
Right.
confidently
Tell
say.
me about it. So
Um,
tell me what that manager or leader did and how they made you feel.
I think they allowed me to be me, to be a creative, and it actually
Excellent.
enhance that. One of the things I think as humans, it's my thought by the way, it's not proven, but we really do thrive on what's this word, validation as well, and somebody
Yes, yes,
makes
yes,
you
yeah,
when somebody makes you believe that you are
yeah,
one gifted and recognizes the extra effort you put in. It kind of also encourages you to say, you know what? I always make this joke and I say,
yeah,
mostly with my jobs, you can wake me up at 2 o'clock and I will jump and
yeah,
make sure. I feel
yeah.
that type of environment really encourages one where I'm like,
Lovely,
I'll
lovely,
cross
lovely.
that river for you.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, good, good, good. So I am glad because I was starting to worry that I'm like, yo, how are you choosing the jobs that you choose and the leaders?
No,
All right,
no,
so Lise Wiseman
not all of
found
them are bad. Not, and to prove
out.
that, it's how long I stayed with
Yes.
companies. I'm one of those who stays
Oh,
quite long
very
with
good.
employers.
Very good, very good. So now back to Liz Wiseman. She's doing this work. She's in the leadership sort of development space, and she found out that it turns out that you will take the same person, same looker, working for this type of a leader. All of a sudden, she doesn't do well, and to a point where they want to sort of make a do performance improvement, and to a point where they might even consider exiting in the organization. And again, the same person working for a different type of leader, they found that this person excels. And
Hmm.
after a whole range of research, they found out there's two types of leaders: diminishers and multipliers. And there's a bunch in between as well, as you can imagine. Now, the people that are sort of diminishers, she ran the numbers, they kind of got half of the people's potential,
Hmm.
around 49% of someone's talent. Those that were multipliers, they got almost 95%. And the idea was that you can lead differently and get 2x from the very same person. And that's where the idea of a multiplier effect of leadership came from. But she found that those that diminishes, they tend to be the know-it-all. Hey, they
Hmm.
when they make decisions, council of one, they tend to micromanage, they tend to run the place like a tyrant. they
Yep.
they they, they kind of lead in a way that they build an empire for them to sort of be on top of the empire, and everybody else and not so much. And those were kind of what she calls the 5 disciplines of diminishers. On the other end, she found these multipliers, they tend to liberate the talent in people and kind of trust you and believe in you. They create debate, they create space for where ideas can come in and actually be taken seriously. They invest in people because they believe you've got talent. They draw like talent, and actually they challenge you to even do way more than you can do. Now the
Hmm.
difference is here. She found the biggest difference between those that lead with diminishing tendencies that we spoke
Hmm.
about and those that lead with sort of talent multiplication tendencies. The difference is a mindset. The mindset that says that you, Luco, for diminishers, you will not be able to figure it out without me. So my people can do what they do, but they won't get it right without me. So therefore, I need
I
to be
need
at
to
the
be in
center
the
of it.
picture.
That's diminishes mindset. The mindsets of multipliers, she says, is that says that, hey, these people are clever, they are smart, they are talented, they're gifted. They will figure it out and potentially even do better than what I sort of tell them to do from the onset. So just that mindset of how you see people determines whether you can get more out of them, you can get the better results for your team and your organization, or you can get a half, sometimes even less than half. And that's why I say this idea of being a balanced leader who takes in contribution from everyone, it starts with the mindset. If you don't value the people around you, and you go, these people didn't study.
Oh, all right. We've just lost Dr. Manda there, but he'll be right back. Grab a glass of water and join us shortly. Oh, there he is. There he is, actually. Let's welcome Dr. Manda in. Dr. Manda, you're back.
Oh, you lost me there again.
Yep.
And what last did you hear?
Whew. I think we heard it, literally it didn't disappear. I'm trying to think where were you actually, because now I'm fussing. But
Let me do a quick summary.
yes, please.
So the quick summary is that the people that you lead and you thrive under, they have a mindset.
Right. Okay. I got a plan. Let's just grab a glass of water. I'll be right back.
Passionate about God, passionate about people. Radio Pulpit 657 AM, your daily companion. Download our